Catch what you're doing right now.
I'm doing inverted rows.
Why? You're doing chest. Why would you do rows?
Because that's how I warm up. You may notice that in every warm up we have inverted rows, and that's because I've learned, as someone who's dislocated my shoulders multiple times, inverted rows get my shoulder joints warm and take away the pain when I left.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, oh, I used to bench so much and my shoulders are hurt. And it's really, the question becomes, well, then why don't you just make your shoulders not hurt?
That's a good point. I also want to point out, because we frequently get asked about inverted rows, I did them with my TRX. Here's a pole, basically, part of my squat rack. I could do them like this. The key is I'm engaging my lat muscle. I could do these in a door frame. I can do them off of a tree. I can literally do these.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Anywhere, as long as I'm getting the lat muscle engaged.
And as long as you're using something that's stable.
Yeah, don't do it on something that's going to fall down. Okay, so I'm going to do just the bar just to get my joint moving.
Yeah, and on those first couple of reps, his hands were not tightly gripped around the bar. I was about to correct him, but he corrected himself. Tight grip on your bar. Grab the bar tight, pull the bar apart. You obviously can't actually, but what this is going to do is it is creating tension within your hands, within your arms, within your back, and that tension plays a key role. The thing that I tell people is I don't care how much weight is on a bar or on an exercise. You want to do every single rep the same. So I want the type of intensity and explosiveness as if there are 300 pounds on the bar, just as when there's only 45 and it's the bar itself. So a lot of people will not do that. They do leave palms open, and that is a mistake. Palms closed, grip it, rip it, press it. We now pause for station identification.
This is how I actually warm up before my workouts. Although normally I would do the full pump workout.
Warm up.
Warm up. Right now we're just trying to show you guys first set mindset, so I'm just focusing on my shoulder joints. I've trained a really long time. I know what I need. Do what we say in the app. Don't do what
I was going to say, Catch needs less of a warm up. I'd be much more methodical and slow, but he knows. It's the same thing as deadlift. This guy can work up to 500 pounds in like 10 minutes. I could never do that.
Yeah, just you have to know yourself, and that takes trial and error and a lot of lifting. All right, so I'm gonna do a warm-up set here.
Key thing to keep in mind with warm-ups is that you want to awaken and activate the muscle, but not fatigue the muscle.
So you may see that the first set in the pump is 15 reps. I'm going to shoot for 8 because I'm not trying to burn myself out with this weight.
Again, this is a warm-up set. So again, you are warming up the muscle. You're getting it used to the weight. So I don't want Catch to be fatigued, but I do want him to feel like the movement feels good, shoulder feels good, chest feels activated, and that he's getting up to that working weight amount.
And you may also notice, let me actually just show you, I lift alone in what we're calling now the pump jungle in my backyard. So that means I don't have a spotter. And one thing I noticed for a long time was my bench was really stuck because I couldn't push for those hard reps because it was scary because I have no spotter. So you'll notice I have safety bars. And
show him what would happen if you get stuck. Oh, look, he doesn't die.
It's right above my chest. It's hard, but I can get out.
So I would honestly just push yourself back.
That also makes more sense. But this is kind of one of the most important things I can say. If you don't have a spotter, get some type of safety bar, something to protect yourself, because you will see your strength and your muscle growth go up so fast once you do that.
Rack the bar. I'm actually going to step in for a second while the weight is light enough and show people something. Since all of you have been asking for form cues, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Nobody tell my doctors I'm doing anything active. And again, not because I'm hurt. I got bit by a dog. It's a stupid rule. So you want tips on bench press, right? There are a couple things to keep in mind while you're doing your bench press. One is going to be your hand positioning. Everyone's going to differ a little bit, but you can do it, wider. I like mine shoulder width apart. Your feet, if you notice, I like planting them behind me so that my feet are firm on the ground. I like lowering, right, with my elbows at about a 45-degree angle of my body so I can easily press up. But when you think about lowering the bar, you almost want to think about basically rowing the weight down. So you're pulling it down towards you in control and then exploding up. I really want you to think about pressing away, but notice how my elbows aren't flaring out to the side. That causes shoulder pain. Notice how I'm rowing it down. The weight is on the lower part of my chest. I've got tension. There is the stretch at the bottom. And then I'm throwing the weight up. So you really want to think about your feet are back, your hands are gripping tight, you're almost pulling the bar apart, you're lowering it down to the lower part of your chest, not allowing those elbows to flare out. When your elbows flare out like that, look, it causes your shoulders to rotate inward. That's internal rotation. That's how you get something called impingement when your shoulders hurt. I want you rowing the bar down, which will stretch the chest. It'll load your back, so then you can press it up and away. And that is how you do a high quality rep at any weight.
All right.
We now return to our model. Daniel Ketchel, loading up the weight.
We're going to put 10s on.
So give him a sense of so you just did 135. What is your first set mindset rep range that you're going for? How many reps are you going to be doing if it was a real first set? Because are you still warming up right here?
50-50.
We're a serious outfit here.
I actually haven't barbell benched since I got my dumbbells, so I think that this might actually be my weight.
Okay, so what's happening here is he did a set at 135. Are you going for 15 reps? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So he did a set of 135, did probably about like 6-7 reps, something like that, maybe 8. I wasn't counting. So about half of the volume at a lower weight, and now he's jumping up to 155 and he's going to go for 15.
And if 15 is easy, then I have to keep going.
Right. So we'll see that if when he hits 15, right, he's going to realize, am I within 1 to 3 reps of failure?
Is the bar slowing down is generally how I start to see the rep is getting hard.
Right, and that's a good thing. You want the weight to be slowing down some because that's when you are maximizing tension, but not so much that you can't move the weight at all. Isn't that right, Daisy?
Daisy is my training partner. Actually, she's a little upset I said I don't have one. I have a question for you, actually. You put your toes down. I like to drive through my heels.
Yeah, I wasn't using a max weight.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But you could actually do either. The key thing with your feet is stability.
Yeah.
So you want to have a stable base. So if your body is all moving around, sometimes you'll see people benching and their feet are up in the air and the lower body is moving like left and right. That's not good. You want stability. With any exercise, the more stability you have, this is why some people love machines. They give you a lot of stability. The more stability you have, the easier it is to generate force.
Okay, so you can see I can do squats. I'm set. We're going to go for 15 and try to show you what a hard rep really means.
I personally would do like 2 more warm-ups, but Ketch feels ready to do this.
Yeah, if anyone else should do probably 2 to 3 warm-up sets, 6, 8, What?
And we're showing you here too. We are limited because there's only the two of us, but I'm obviously not there as a spotter, and that's why it was so important. We just showed you having the bars there. So if Ketchel needs to bail, he has a level of safety that allows him to push himself harder because the safety bars are in place.
All right, here we go for 15.
Let's go, Ketch.
See how it's slowing down?
Come on, Ketch. Finish, finish, finish.
So I probably had 2 more, but we're not going for failure. So that was closer to the weight I would use normally for a 20 rep bench press. I think that was 18.
I would say I think say one clean, and that second rep you might not have got it in.
That's
you might
true.
have got it, but that's what you want, right? You want it to within 1 to 3 reps of complete failure because you don't want to get complete failure. If you do, that's okay. But notice how he got to 15, he realized he had more in him. He did another 3 on top of that. If he wanted to be a 1 rep in reserve, so a clean rep, even though it's slowing down, but still a clean rep, I feel very confident he would have got 19. That 20th rep would have been questionable, but that 20th would have been complete failure. And if he hit complete failure, that's okay, but then it probably would affect that second set and that third set. So he realized that his weight that he used right there, he probably could have done another 10 pounds on the bar to hit a true 15 rep max at that weight. But notice that rather than just stopping at 15, he did the 18 to find out how much he could do.
Yeah, you're looking for those hard reps. 15, it was a little hard. It was starting to slow down, but it didn't get really hard until probably 17. 18, I knew I wasn't going to go beyond.
Right, and then if he was doing them the next set, and if this was a rep of 15 and then he was going to do 12 reps, he would then be adding more weight.
Yeah, so if I'm going up instead of going to squats like we're about to do, I definitely would go up. We're going to 12. I would probably try to jump to 175 here because, yeah, I think that math would make sense. And by the way, if I hit 11 or 10 instead of 12, as long as I hit the hard reps, it doesn't matter.
And that would actually still be a good weight. If he was going for a goal of 12, was only able to get 10, 1, he's doing those muscle building reps. 2, he's within that 2 to 3 rep range of what you want to go. When you're trying to figure out, the goal is to hit the rep range, but you're not always going to hit the rep range when you're taking the first set mindset because it means you're pushing yourself. There's a little bit of trial and error. So if he got 10 reps, which means he was within 2 of the goal, that was a good weight. It means he's probably still doing the same weight the following week, and he might get 11, then get 12, and then go up. But it wasn't so heavy that he was far away from the goal. Now, if he would hit 4 reps, that meant that he overreached, and instead of going up to 175, he probably should have gone up to 165. You have to realize that everyone has different strengths and weaknesses in terms of their muscle fiber composition. And what that means is you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to know your muscle fiber composition. But it means some people are going to be better in the higher rep ranges. Some people better at lower rep ranges. Ketch is great in the lower rep ranges. That's where he thrives. It's why he can deadlift 600 pounds for a rep, and he's built up his muscular endurance. But naturally, that doesn't come as easy to him. So by doing the programs, you will see what works best for you.
According to 23andMe, I'm prone to fast twitch muscle. I don't know what that means. I just lift.
It just sounds good, though. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to do squats next.